I didn't just lose my family. I was erased from it, blocked, disowned, treated like I never existed, all because I reported my own brother. And the worst part? They knew something was wrong. They just chose him anyway. But 5 years later, 7 people came forward, and suddenly, the truth they buried came back to destroy everything. My brother was the kind of person everyone admired, smart, charming, confident, the kind of guy teachers loved, neighbors praised, and my parents? They worshipped him. He was their perfect son, their pride, their proof they did everything right. And me? I was the comparison, the disappointment, the why can't you be more like him? I grew up in his shadow. Every achievement I had was nothing compared to his. Every mistake I made was proof I wasn't good enough. But here's what no one saw. Behind that perfect image, there was something off, something wrong, and I noticed it before anyone else. At first, it was small, things you could easily ignore: late nights, locked doors, anger that came out of nowhere, then excuses, weird stories that didn't add up. And whenever I asked questions, he'd snap, not just annoyed, aggressive, like I was getting too close to something. But I still told myself, it's nothing. Don't overthink it. Until one night, I came home earlier than expected. The house was quiet, too quiet. His door was slightly open, and I heard something, a voice, not his, and the tone. It didn't feel right. I should have walked away, pretended I didn't hear it, but I didn't. I pushed the door open, and what I saw changed everything. I froze. My brain couldn't even process it at first. It didn't make sense. This wasn't the brother everyone praised. This wasn't the perfect son. This was something else, something darker, something I couldn't ignore. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept replaying it over and over, hoping I misunderstood, hoping there was some explanation. There wasn't. So the next day, I made the decision that destroyed my life. I reported him. I didn't tell my family first. I didn't try to handle it privately, because deep down, I knew they wouldn't believe me, and I was right. It didn't even take 24 hours. That's all it took, for my entire life to fall apart. They found out what I did, and instead of asking questions, they attacked. You're lying. You're jealous. You've always hated him. You're trying to ruin this family. I tried to explain. I tried to tell them what I saw, but they didn't want the truth. They wanted comfort, and the truth threatened that. So they chose the easier option. They chose him. My mom cried, but not for what happened, for him. My dad didn't even look at me, just said, "You're no longer part of this family." Just like that. No hesitation, no doubt, no investigation. I wasn't their child anymore. I was the enemy. Everything disappeared overnight. My home, my family, my identity, gone. My number got blocked. My messages ignored. Relatives stopped replying. Friends started distancing themselves because word spreads fast, especially when you're painted as the villain. And I was painted perfectly. The jealous sibling, the attention seeker, the liar. And after hearing it enough times, something started to break inside me. What if they're right? What if I misunderstood? What if I ruined everything? For nothing. That doubt. It eats you alive, because when everyone is against you, even the truth starts to feel uncertain. 5 years. That's how long it took. 5 years of rebuilding from nothing. New city, new job, new life. But it wasn't easy. Trust didn't come back quickly. Silence followed me. Memories didn't leave. And every once in a while, I'd think about them, wonder if they ever questioned it, wonder if they ever doubted him. But deep down, I knew the answer. They didn't want to know, because knowing meant admitting they chose wrong, so they stayed silent. And so did I, until one message changed everything. It came out of nowhere, a message request, from a name I didn't recognize. I almost ignored it, but something told me not to. So I opened it, and what I read made my hands shake. "I think your brother did the same thing to me." I stared at the screen, heart racing, because suddenly everything I buried came rushing back. I asked for details, and as they explained, it matched, too perfectly. Same behavior, same manipulation, same pattern. And that's when I realized this wasn't over, not even close. A few days later, another message came. Different person, same story, then another, and another, each one adding something new, something worse, and with every message, the truth got louder, clearer, impossible to ignore. 7 people, 7 different lives, all connected by the same person, my brother. And suddenly, I wasn't alone anymore. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't the liar they said I was. I was the first one who spoke up. And now, there were others. It didn't stay quiet this time, because 7 voices are harder to silence than one. Reports were filed, investigations reopened, evidence surfaced, patterns exposed, and the image he spent years building, it started to crack, then collapse, then shatter completely. And my family? They couldn't ignore it anymore. The same people who called me a liar were now forced to face the truth. Every denial, every accusation, every word they threw at me came back and hit them harder than anything I could have said. But here's the part no one talks about. By the time they believed me, I didn't care anymore. They tried to reach out. Of course they did. Calls, messages, long apologies, excuses. We didn't know. We were scared. We thought, but none of it mattered, because when I needed them most, they didn't hesitate. They chose him. They erased me. They made me question my own reality. And now, they wanted forgiveness, closure, a second chance? No, because those 5 years taught me something they never could: how to stand alone, how to trust myself, how to walk away from people who only love you when it's convenient. So I didn't respond. I didn't argue. I didn't go back, because the truth finally came out, not because of them, but in spite of them, and by the time they saw it, I was already gone.